Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors are Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me today, and this story comes from Ireland. We've got a lot of news to get through. A lot has been happening in Ireland, as well as 5 police officers that are currently under investigation for corruption allegations. Gerry The Monk Hutch has also been extradited and appeared in court. This is actually quite a surprise due to the fact that they believed Gerry Hutch would appeal his extradition after he was arrested on a European Arrest Warrant in Spain in August. He appeared in court on August the 8th and he was brought straight back to Ireland to appear in the criminal courts. The Sunday World newspaper covered the moment that he arrived back into the country and said that he was a feared gang boss who was nicknamed the Monk, and he was facing charges over the murder of David Byrne in the Regency Hotel in 2016. The military aircraft that was carrying Hutch touched down at Casement Aerodrome in Baldonnel, and he's appeared in the special criminal court under armed escort. The 58-year-old was hiding out in southern Spain since the European Arrest Warrant was issued for him in April over the murder of David Byrne in the Regency Hotel in 2016. They say he's appeared in court in relation to the gangland murder. During the brief hearing, a trial date was set for October the 3rd next year, and it was determined by Gerry Hutch's defence counsel that they are reserving their position on the lawfulness of his arrest and the jurisdiction of the court. So being as he's been transferred in military planes and under armed guard, you can understand the severity of his reputation. There was significant uniformed and plainclothes guarder inside the precinct of the court complex as Gerry Hutch was transferred to Parkgate Street. The armed convoy that included emergency response units were involved in transporting him to court. Shortly before 8 PM, he was brought before the judges and formally charged with the murder of David Byrne, who was 33 years old, from North Dublin. They said in the courtroom that he was associate of the Kinahan family, and he was shot dead during the boxing weigh-in after the armed gang stormed the venue in an attempt to kill Daniel Kinahan. Gerry Hutch only spoke to confirm his name briefly and said yes. He was escorted from the precinct by a number of plainclothes Garda, and Detective Superintendent Paul Scott from Ballymun Garda Station said he was arrested, and the senior member of the Garda said that he'd informed Gerry Hutch that the DPP had certified that the ordinary courts were inadequate for the administration of justice and preservation of peace. So this roughly translates as they think that the jury may be corrupted, he may be able to get at the jury, their risk may be too high, so they've gone to a special criminal court. Detective Superintendent Scott told the state solicitor, Miss Vivian, that he also informed Gerard Hutch of this in the precinct of the court. The police say they have a book of evidence and USB key they served on the accused, and Mr. Justice Tony Hunt fixed a date trial for next year, and 4 other people are also going on trial too. The court heard that Gerard Hutch had also been vaccinated and tested negative for COVID-19. And he was remanded in custody until Friday, October the 15th. He spent over a month in prison in Madrid, and he attempted to fight their extradition on the grounds that he was a tax-paying Spanish resident whose life was under threat. His nephew Patrick Hutch Jr., 28, was previously charged with the murder of David Byrne and trialled at the Special Criminal Court, but the charges were later dropped after the detective in charge of the case killed himself inside his office. And most recently I covered the news of the former Sinn Féin councillor Jonathan Dowdall, 44, who was also charged with the murder of David Byrne. 3 other men that also include Dowdall's father were brought before the court earlier this month in relation to the investigation. Patrick Dowdall, 64, from Dublin, Jason Bonney, 50, from Dublin, Paul Murphy, 59, from Swords, are all accused of a single offence contrary to Section 72 of the Criminal Justice Act 2006 as substituted by Section 6 of the Justice Act 2008. Patrick Dowdall is alleged to have had knowledge of criminal gang activity and helped them cover up the murder of David Byrne by making a room available at the Regency Hotel to members of the gang on February the 4th, 2016. Jason Bonney and Paul Murphy are accused of assisting the gang in the murder by each making a motor vehicle available to the members on the day of the murder. So slowly but surely they're starting to reveal the details of what actually occurred inside the Regency. So I'm definitely going to follow that case, and I'm definitely going to keep you updated on it. And in some other news coming from Ireland as well, in relation to police corruption, several police are under investigation currently for allegations of corruption in various forms. The first one is a retired senior Garda has been arrested on suspicion of assisting drugs gangs. This is a very serious accusation. The news comes from the Irish Times on the 29th of September, and it is in relation to a £600,000 operation about a cannabis seizure that took place. The man is aged in his 60s, and he was the only suspect arrested in the operation by the National Bureau of Criminal Investigation on Wednesday, which involved searches in 5 properties in Dublin. They discovered 30 kilos of cannabis that are estimated to be worth €600,000 and also €50,000 in cash. The ex-Garda was arrested on suspicion of enhancing the ability of a criminal organisation to commit or facilitate a serious offence. Other words translates as tipping somebody off. This is an offence under Section 72 of the Criminal Justice Act, and it's understood that this took the form of allegedly passing on sensitive information to the gang about police operations. The suspect is currently being held and questioned at Irish Town Garda Station in Dublin, and on Wednesday the 29th of September 2021, personnel attached to the National Bureau of Investigation participated in the organised crime related operation. In the course of the 5 searches that were conducted in Dublin, the Garda made the statements on Wednesday night. They said after finding cannabis herb in the region of 30 kilos with an estimated street value of over £500,000, they arrested a male, and they believe that this is a senior police officer who was originally in the force. So this is a really big breaking story, and I'm definitely going to follow this up until its conclusion as well to see who this senior officer is as well. And some other news coming from Ireland as well. The anti-corruption unit, which has recently been formed due to allegedly the amount of corrupt police that they've got, have arrested a sergeant in the Dublin area on allegations of leaking information to the media. They say the sergeant is based in a North Dublin station, and his phone was confiscated by members of the anti-corruption unit. It's understood other electronic devices linked to him have also been seized, and the suspension must have been sanctioned by the Commissioner Drew Harris. A source said that the sergeant had been informed of his suspension and is no longer on duty. And then they followed this up in the Daily Mirror by saying, in an unrelated internal investigation, elite detectives from the National Bureau of Criminal Investigation are probing the illegal activities of 2 officers in separate North Dublin stations. The officers, who have not been suspended but are under review according to informed sources, are middle-ranking Garda and a detective. Sources say the pair were arrested as a follow-up to the retired Garda arrest on Wednesday. So this is a development, if anything, in the story about the senior officer that may have been passing information on to gang members. So I really appreciate you joining me for this update coming from Ireland, and thank you to everybody that has sent me stories on the website and social media. Don't forget you can get in touch with me on the website via the upload news section, and I'll definitely get back to anybody that does contact. I really do appreciate all your help and for supporting the channel for so long. Peace.